Welcome to Fred Achando Analysis, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that this video finds you well. Maybe you could let me know where you are watching us from. If it is in Kenya, which corner, and if it is outside Kenya, let us just wave to each other. What started like a normal political practice when Raila Odinga jetted into the country from South Africa and held his first rally at the Jamkunji grounds has now developed into a very serious thing that is giving President William Samoei Ruto and his allies sleepless nights. Raila Odinga declared mass action and demonstrations within the country, and he headed straight to his Nyanza strongholds. That is where he started his demonstrations. And he has declared that on 20th of this month, that is going to form the mother of all demonstrations. It is going to be the mega rally that some people say is going to force William Ruto to resign from State House. Now, everything that Raila Odinga does is well calculated, and they are supposed to meet particular political goals. Many people do not know that before Raila makes a move, he sits down, plans, and understands why he's doing it and what he wants to achieve. Now, 20th of March is very significant because it is on the same day when Julius Malema has decided that he's also going to hold a big rally in South Africa. But by choosing 20th of this month, Raila Odinga is targeting the international community. Raila Odinga is targeting the United Nations, and he is also targeting the United States of America. How? Now, on 20th of March, that very day has been set apart and recognized by the United Nations as the World's Happy Day. World's Happiness Day. Now let me just give you a few facts so that you can know what I'm talking about. On 12th of July, the year 2012, the United Nations sat down and they declared 20th of March as the World's Happiest Day. Let us read together whatever you are seeing on your screen. Let us go to paragraph 2 because it is a bit long. Paragraph 2 of whatever I'm showing you reads this: the General Assembly of the United Nations in its resolution 66 of 281 of 12th July 2012 proclaimed 20th March the International Day of Happiness, recognizing the relevance of happiness and well-being as universal goals and aspirations in the lives of human beings around the world, and the importance of their recognition in public policy objectives. That was the United Nations body that sat down on 2012. So Raila Odinga has chosen a day that UN recognizes as the International Happiness Day to hold a mega demonstrations where in the capital city of Kenya, Nairobi. Now the reason I'm saying that while doing this, he has decided to send a coded message to the international community is very simple. You know, on this day, CNN and BBC and all the international media will be looking at how people are happy. They will be highlighting why the globe came up with this day to celebrate, to understand what happiness means, because whatever I have read indicates that the UN recognizes that day that is very important even in public policy objectives. But Raila Odinga has chosen this day to show the whole world that a day that you set apart to be a happiness day, in Kenya we are not happy. In Kenya we have youths who are unemployed. In Kenya there are families that are going without food. Hunger has stricken our country. In Kenya, drought is ravaging and our animals are dying. In Kenya, there is nothing like happiness. So he's sending a very coded message and is telling the UN body and the USA that whatever you gave us to celebrate, there is nothing to be happy about. And that's why I'm telling you that he chose 20th deliberately. Don't think that it was a coincidence. He knew very well what he wanted to achieve, because on that day, when they come and ask whether we are happy in Kenya, the answer will be very simple. They will be running battles all over, and they will know that we are not happy in Kenya. And let me ask you, regardless of your political affiliation, whether you support Kenya Kwanza or Azimio, just remove Raila from the picture. Are you happy wherever you are? Can you afford 3 meals in a day? Can you take your children to the best schools that you want? Are you happy? Because this is just a question that is devoid of politics. Are you happy? And on that day, when people will be celebrating the International Happiness Day, do you have a reason to celebrate? Do you have any reason to celebrate? Are you happy? You will share with me in the comment section whether you are happy. Now, Raila is telling the international community, because I've always maintained on this platform that we have a president who was procured by the international community. Raila Odinga is trying to show the international community that this president whom you procured for us is unable to give us happiness that you're talking about. He is unable to implement all the pre-election packages that he gave to us, because we have maintained on this platform, repeating what William Ruto himself said, that when he takes oath of office and he places the Bible down, he promised that the cost of living would be lowered. And Raila will be telling the international community that the happiness that you want us to feel is not there, because this president of yours, because let me tell you, the president that we have in Kenya was given to us by America and Britain. So he's telling them that this president cannot give us that happiness. The policies that you gave. Remember, William Ruto decided to abandon all the subsidies. The subsidy on unga, subsidy on fuel, subsidy on school fees, subsidy on electricity. Courtesy of the international community. Courtesy of the IMF, International Monetary Fund. How do they expect us to be happy when all the subsidies that were supposed to cushion us from the ravaging corona pandemic has been abandoned? And Kenya today, we can't afford school fees, the cost of electricity is high, you know, the cost of unga is up, the cost of oil, and yet they set this day so that we can be happy. So Raila is telling them, we are not happy, courtesy of your procured president. Your president whom you gave us is unable to make us happy. Raila wants to portray the international community as hypocrites, because they put things on paper, theoretical international days. When they give us a day like World and International Happy Day, how are we supposed to be happy? On one hand, they want us to be happy and they create this day. On the other hand, they advise the government to take away all the subsidies. They want us to be happy on one end, on the other hand, they force leaders in Africa. And then they expect Kenya and other African nations to be happy. I was reading an article that even the just concluded election in Nigeria, the international body had a hand and they had to influence, because they have realized that China is taking over Africa economically with all the projects that they give, building of roads, and they also want to look at satellite monitor. So they want to kick away China, and so they have crafted a plan to ensure that they put in place leaders who will dance to their tune, leaders who will be able to give policies that are aligned to themselves. So this is one thing that they are trying to do. So Raila is trying to portray them as just hypocrites who have a lot of theoretical, international days, who pretend to be fighting for democracy and freedom in Africa. Yet behind this pretense, they have a hidden agenda. So ladies and gentlemen, by choosing 20th, there was a message. And Raila himself is telling them that I'm not happy. Remember, Raila told us that in the last August elections, just before the Supreme Court ruled on Raila case, Ban Ki-moon, who is the Secretary General of the United Nations, called Raila Odinga, ostensibly to discuss the peace of the nation. And you know, they were reminding Raila Odinga that he was the AU High Representative of Infrastructure. And so they told him that they were concerned about the security of the area. And Raila assured them that he was not going to take people on the streets to, to protest the outcome of the elections. So, ladies and gentlemen, are you supporting Raila Odinga for organizing demos and a mega rally on a day when people are supposed to celebrate happiness? And are you happy wherever you are? Please share with me in the comment section. And I wanted to submit to you that Raila knows what he's doing. He has calculated every move and he will achieve whatever he wants. That is my take, ladies and gentlemen.